Good morning, Gills fans, and welcome back once again to Gills in the Blood TV for another Monday review. Boz is with me again this morning. Didn't call each other before we got dressed. Another win at the weekend. 3 out of 5 now under Lovell. FA Cup.
Another defeat, so it's working.
Next round. Boz's reverse psychology. Absolute killer at the moment, so missing your vocation here, mate. As usual, Football League paper. Gills oh so close to replay, very witty headline there. We'll come back to that in a minute. Firing on all cylinders, back page of Monday's Medway Messenger. Strikers are starting to deliver under boss Lovell. As you can see, we've got the FA Cup highlights on in the background. Gills end first round misery. Inside is the big headline in the match report, which we'll have a look at. Hesse eyeing Derby clash. Results breed confidence. Bingham's bad break is probably the only negative from the weekend. Right, I'll let you talk about this. Oh, wait a minute, here we go. Watch this first. The more I've seen this, the more it's a foul every time. He's basically just... Wasn't that used to be called a hip toss, I think, in WWF when I used to watch it as a kid. That was the only other negative. In terms of the performance, that was the only one that was appalling. But in the hat. And we said at the time, didn't we? We said we thought there was going to be a red card.
It doesn't look like there's a lot in it, though.
And then it comes from the most... I think it's because he's through on goal. If he doesn't stop them, and then it comes from that horrible little shirt fall. But how good were we?
First half, very good. Second half, not so good. A couple of good moments, but that might be because they came out, they wanted it a bit more in that second half.
Well, they've probably had a bit of a rocket from their gaffer, haven't they, to say, look, you carry on like this, you're going to get absolutely bashed. But
we should have been out of sight at half time. We
were very good first half. Without the keeper making loads of saves, I thought there was lots of good ball into the box. We had loads of possession. We said at the time, Elliot List, I'm not sure why he was taken off. It must have been tactical or saving him for something else.
Saving him, yeah.
But
yeah.
Were they that deserving of a replay? Haley's made two very good saves and one save that you'd expect him to make. The first one was very good.
How many saves did their goalkeeper have to make?
I don't remember he's had to make loads, but like I say, we had lots of dangerous ball into the box and blocks in front of him. Wasn't there, like the one at the end, the Josh Parker one? I thought, based on possession and our first half showing, which is what I tweeted after the game on Saturday, as soon as we come out of the ground, I thought we'd done enough to be in the hat. So, but fair play, not Leighton Orient. I think if any of their fans watch this, I think if they play like that, they did second half for the rest of the season.
I think that'd be fine.
They'll start moving up the table. You look at some other teams like from that league. We'll have a look in a little while if we get a chance that have played League 2 and League 1 sides. There's a couple that have caused upsets, but there's some that have been absolutely... Dartford against Swindon.
Yeah.
Dartford are they
Conference
South?
South, yeah.
But that's the same gap then, isn't it? Conference South to League 2 is the same as National League to League 1, and they've been absolutely tonked at home at Swindon yesterday, 5-1 I think. So, no, I think they'll be fine. Anyway, a closer look at ours. Caretaker boss Steve Lovell says Gillingham strikers are starting to believe in themselves. Goals from Josh Parker and Tom Eaves handed Gills victory in the FA Cup first round over non-league Leighton Orient on Saturday. It was the third in 2 games for Parker, and Eaves now has 7 for the season. Along with Elliot List, the Gills front line are starting to deliver under Lovell. We keep saying it, we can't say it anymore. Elliot just needs a goal, doesn't he? Yeah. He's come close in the last few weeks. Blackburn, Peterborough, Northampton. He didn't really have any chances himself.
He had one that I think was blocked in the penalty area, but other than that.
But then he
doesn't played clear cut.
He looked like he played wider Saturday, didn't I said to you at the time? I thought it was 4-3-3. He murdered the left back time and time again. There's a bit here about Josh has got a few goals. He's starting to believe in himself a little bit more, and when you're scoring goals, that's 3 in the last 2. It's nice. That's what Lovell said about Josh Parker. And Tom has really improved. When he came in at the start of the season, he's a big lad and he wasn't using his body enough. We've got him doing that. We've got him in the gym and he's got a little bit stronger.
I think he showed that.
Now he's banging people off left, right and centre, and that's what made his goal in the second half. It was a really good finish. For me, it's a foul, the more I've seen it. But
I said at the time I thought it was a foul.
We said at the time we're not sure whether we thought it was 50-50. The more I've seen
like
it,
he just gets him.
It looks like he's just got him and just lobbed him out of the way. So you need that bit of luck though.
How often do we see it at least bullied the other way around? So.
Well, he's been cleaned out 2 or 3 times this season and we've not got penalties. So, and we need a bit of luck. It's been the beginning of the season, it'd have probably been penalised for a foul, we'd end up drawing 1-1 and losing a replay. So, as for List, Lovell believes there is more to come from a player who was only starting his 12th game in a Gillingham shirt. We've all got belief and faith in him, it's just him, he needs to have a little bit more belief in himself, added Lovell. That's something we are trying to get into him. He's a lovely lad and he's a talent, he has to start believing in himself. When he starts doing that, then we'll see a lot more out of him. I think he's getting there. I think he's getting there really quickly as well, which is great to see.
Like I said before, it's his first real run of games.
Yeah, exactly. Pennock promised to play him as a winger when he took over. It lasted all of about an hour, didn't it, at Oldham when we got beat, and then you didn't get a look in end of last season or beginning of this. So, Gills know more than most in recent years just how unforgiving a competition like the FA Cup can be. So it was refreshing to see them produce a largely encouraging performance. That's probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah,
And a
we've
positive
improved,
result.
haven't we? We're not a finished article, we're just improving.
Not by any means, but we're getting there, aren't we? Slowly but surely. Probably a little quicker than we thought under Love in truth. So, because no one expected us to go Peterborough and win. No one expected us to go Rotherham and win. So, Orient failed as Gills took the game seriously and showed the right attitude from start to be rewarded with a place in the second round for the first time in 2012. Since 2012.
Didn't realise it was that long.
That's dire, isn't it? It's just 5 seasons being knocked out in the first round. Are we number 32 tonight, I think, aren't we? It's 30 or 32. I'm sure someone tweeted yesterday. Draws on BBC and BT Sport tonight at 7 o'clock, so I'll be having a little look at that. A little bit about team news that we said at the end, we was correct. It proved that meant only injuries forced the managers' hand. Bradley Garmston and Billy Bingham ruled out. In came Conor Ogilvie and Mark Burners. Jill showed both the opposition and a competition full respect. Tonight's the key. If we can get a lovely little draw at home to someone below us, and then obviously you start thinking about.
I still think away. The way we're playing away at the moment.
I'll take either.
I need fancies.
So what's that at home now? I'll take Northampton out. Drawn with Wigan, beaten Charlton recently.
Drew with Scunthorpe.
Drew with Scunthorpe, beaten Orient. So we're getting there. The way we're playing, I think if we can get someone League 2 or anything, we fancy it
anyway. If we lose at the
anyway.
moment, but we're playing well, fans sort of say, well, at least we're trying.
That's it, exactly. That's all we can ask for. There's a little bit about the red card. Orient had other ideas. Joan Dutton's free kick from near the touchline 4 minutes later evaded everyone for nestling in the bottom corner. I've seen in terms of the performance, that was probably the only real negative. It was, well, it was very Sunday League.
I don't think we praised Holy enough either Saturday. I think the first one, he's tipped over really good.
First, the two long range ones, I thought that was the better one. The corner is the save for me. I thought that was really good. We couldn't see it properly. Unfortunately, they've not shown it on the
highlights.
highlights.
Himself through his right,
Yeah.
made a really good save.
And then the red card, like we said, for all the bad tackles that happened. We said on Matchday Live, didn't we? Wagstaff come on, got cleaned out. Wilkinson come on, got cleaned out.
Lister Martin cleaned out.
Luke O'Neill come on, got cleaned out. It was 2 first half, and we said that the lad who eventually went, Joe Widowson, I thought we could have gone first half for 2 first.
Yeah,
because when he got his first yellow, I said to you, he's off now, and he's already been booked. But apparently he got away with 2, and then he ironically went for a little tug on Conor Wilkinson's shirt as he tried to burst into the box. But and Boz thought the free kick was in as well, along with quite a few people in the Medway stand to beat.
I also wanted to criticise Wilkinson for a red card for not having to go enough, trying to get on the end of it.
But no, it was good to get minutes into those that need minutes. Tomorrow night, obviously, we've got Reading in the checker trade, so it'll be interesting what side we put out. I'm guessing it's going to be largely children.
You think Aldaker, you think Omar,
It's got to be
O'Neill.
It's got to be 4 that have featured in the previous game,
I
isn't
think
it?
it's 5.
So there's your.
You think a goalkeeper would come in? Anyone's guess as to which one?
So I'd say then that probably Wilkinson, Wagstaff, and O'Neill will start,
Yeah.
and then you've got to find 2 more.
I think Aldaker at the moment is just a couple of
Mike, because he's been in and out of the side for a little while. But then the trouble is we're so low on centre midfielders.
Well, we're already qualified, so we could stick Chapman and Aldaker in, or.
But we've still got to find 4 or 5 that
Cundall
started.
up
Yeah.
top.
Cundall with Wilkinson maybe. I'd give Eaton.
I think it might
the
just
night
be
off.
the 5 that we're allowed to.
Yeah, and then the rest
start
are just
the rest
the
of the
kids. Yeah.
youngsters.
So, and then in goals, anybody's guess at the moment. Bottom 2 paragraphs as the report, as we always do. Seasons can fall apart on the back of needless FA Cup defeats, but Gills successfully avoided the potential repercussions of an early exit. Many fans would have turned on Lovell had they been knocked out, so it was only right that he takes credit for what proved an ultimately successful afternoon at the office. Indeed. Hess eyeing Derby clash. Plenty said about it, didn't they? I see on Twitter yesterday, Saturday, everyone wants Maidstone. Which I think means we said if we get them in the cup, we then have them twice in 3 days, I think, don't we? Because we've got them in the Tuesday night in the Kent Trophy. Midfielder Jake Hessenthaler would love a plum FA Cup derby against Maidstone in the second round. Both teams will be in tonight's draw after winning their first round ties at the weekend. It has been 25 years since the clubs met in a competitive fixture, and Hessenthaler would relish the chance to come up against Jay Saunders' side. There's no one really big in it until the next round, said Hess, with Premier League sides entering the competition in the third round. Maidstone have won, and obviously there's a rivalry. I've never played against them, so I'm hoping for someone like that personally. It would be tasty, I think. If it wasn't, then the fans would be on at us. I've never got through to the second round before. My only highlight was scoring, but we still got beat, so it wasn't much of a highlight. Oh yeah, Brackley last season, so it tells you how bad we've been in the FA Cup then.
Yeah,
Hess
he's been around for a
Hess
while,
has never
he's
got
not
past the
nice.
first round. Results breed confidence. Cup win will give players a boost. Gillingham manager Steve Lovell hopes the FA Cup win over Leighton Orient will boost their confidence. The Gills made it back-to-back wins with victory in the first round at Priestfield. Any game that you win, whether it's cup or league, breeds confidence. It's mainly what you do on the training ground. If you work hard in the training ground, then there's no excuse for not working hard on a Saturday or Tuesday. Withington. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I was going to mention actually.
Neil, I don't know if anyone else noticed it. We did sort of midway through the first half, I think. Was when there was an injury break. It might have been when Elliot Liss got cleaned out. Fitness coach Neil Withington was back.
Read the bit at the bottom.
Fitness coach Neil Withington has rejoined Gillingham less than a month after quitting. Withington left Priestfield when director of football Peter Taylor departed following the League One defeat at Portsmouth at the start of October, but he was back in the dugout alongside Lovell for Saturday's FA Cup win. Neil has come back, said Lovell. He's a good lad, the players like what he does. Neil wanted to go away and have a think about his future, which was fine, but I gave him a call and asked him if he'd come back, and he's jumped at it. He's really pleased to be back, and he'll be a good plus for us. He's a good acquisition in the little team that we've got here. Withington originally joined Gillingham when Adi Pennant took over as boss, having previously worked with him at both Forest Green and Welling. I didn't even realise he'd stayed. I thought he went with Pennant. I didn't.
No, I thought I announced it about a week after.
I don't remember him
I
staying.
think, didn't he go with... Literally everyone left other than Glenn Johnson, didn't they? For coaching staff and Lovell.
So Pennant went,
They
they went.
went in one go.
That's it then. Withington went. That must have been the three.
Surely there was one more.
The weird geezer that we kept seeing at games who apparently has nothing to do with us. He's not been around for a little while. And the only other one's the lad who does the warm-ups is apparently an intern, so who's employed as some sort of work experience type thing. But if
depends what you're into, because if he's gone to, let's say, think about his future, did he wait? Was he hoping Bennett would bring him in at Barrow?
and that's not happened, so now he needs a job.
And on the other hand, if Lovell's bringing him back in, he's got to say so. Has he already got a job?
That's what we said, didn't we, during the game? As Lovell on the quiet been told that, and then I see something interesting last night that was put on the Gills fans forum on Facebook. Someone said that Scully's car was outside the Priestfield late last night, so we're only surmising, we know nothing, so it could be that today we look and Graham Wesley's odds on favourite again. We can all keep our fingers crossed that he's not, but Billy Bingham, the only bad one. Sorry, just going to have to talk about that quickly. Midfielder Billy Bingham faces a lengthy spell on the sidelines after breaking his ankle in training on Friday. He's going to be out for a while, confirmed Gillingham caretaker boss Stephen Lovell. He has chipped a bone in his leg and his ankle. He's got to go for another scan to see exactly what the damage is. Devastating for him. I wish him well and want him back as soon as possible. We're down to only two senior midfielders in the middle, aren't we now, with Jake Hessenthaler and Mark Byrne underneath that. We're a little bit light.
And at the start of the season, aren't we saying how well covered we were there?
With loads in there, didn't we? Josh Wright on the side there, and then he left. Ben Chapman
So
and
I
Darren
guess he's probably
Albright.
towards the bottom of that list of the senior.
Definitely, we've said how well he's done to get back in the side, and he's now probably number one centre midfielder, and it's great to see. Again, if he's playing well, I don't mind who it is.
No.
We just want people playing well and getting us results. I suppose Lee Martin complained there. He's played in there as an orthodox centre midfielder at times. If we're playing a three,
He's 10 for playing in the
just there's a few times he just looks like he's starting to tick, and you're just waiting him for lunge. But hopefully, with the captaincy, he's trying to calm it down. Wimbledon
the other
side.
suggestion also, I think Luke Browning said on Twitter wasn't playing Amar in there.
Oh yeah, he's been in there. Put him a short centre half.
Yeah, at the moment,
We need Lacey and Nugent back, don't we? So, right, FA Cup weekend. I'm not going to go through them all because there are loads. Any shocks really? Boreham Wood beating Blackpool.
The obvious one for me is Maidstone.
And
That was brilliant.
yeah, fair play to them. I know we're not meant to like them and squatters and all that traditional stuff that we're meant to shout, but to go to a league side and be 3-0 up before half time takes some doing. So I think they had a red card second half, Maidstone as well, didn't they? The geezer was on a hat trick, I think it was, which was an awful lunge. I've seen it on the highlights. So yeah, so I'm going to go for a couple of upsets: Boreham Wood, Maidstone, Oxford City. I've just noticed that as well. Went to Colchester and won 1-0. I hadn't seen that. Poor old Ebbsfleet and Dartford took a
We called
spanking
him
each,
just
didn't we?
before half time. We checked and.
I looked at the Sky Sports app and went, oh, Ebbsfleet are 2-0 up, and then it fleshed up 2-1, and then we looked at half time, it was 2-0, and you went, they're going to get battered now, and they ended up losing 6-2 and having a bloke sent off, unfortunately. And Dartford got tonked at home to Swindon yesterday. Some really good goals in there. Amin Linganzi, talk to me about this fella. Fully fit.
You weren't going regularly, were you, when he was around?
Not so much then due to work, but he was injury prone all
He was
the
always on
time.
him. He looked like he should be a good player, but he really weren't.
But he scored like 3 worldies this season. His
Scored a couple
goal
of
Saturday
bombs
was
last season,
really good finish. Mickey Flynn, there's
Yeah.
another one of a
That's
slight
right,
upset.
yeah.
An ex-one of ours scored in that game. Frank Nouble got one as Newport defeated Walsall. Good result for Tranmere at Peter, drawing 1-1. Other than that, there wasn't really any major upsets to talk about. So that's probably our few this weekend then. Oxford City, Boreham Wood, Maidstone and Newport, 4 performances of the week, beating higher league opposition. We await the draw. Regarding tomorrow's match day live, we're not sure if we're going to be there yet. It is pending. Boz is going to give it a swerve. I'm still going to see if Dave Miller wants to come along with me. So we might be there for that. If not, we'll be back with a match preview at the end of the week, and we will definitely be there Saturday for Bury at home. Another good week, another good weekend. No off the field antics to concern us. Just waiting for news on the court case still. Then hopefully we'll get some movement in terms of a permanent manager. But as always, thanks for doing all the usual, and until next time, up the Jewels.